Hello, my name is Magnus, and it is my absolute pleasure as the founding head of the college to welcome you to the beginning of another new academic year. As is customary, please accept this video introduction instead of our usual Friday Dulwich Diaries. As we begin our 9th year, I want to thank our returning parents and families for their loyalty, trust and support as we have navigated our way together through these trying times. To the parents and families of the 500 new students that have joined us this week, thank you for choosing us. You have excellent taste. We are humbled in your faith in us, and we will do everything in our power to ensure that we do not let you down, but more importantly here, that we will not let your children down. We will always put them first. A group of parents who deserve a special mention are from those families who have joined us during the pandemic, the forgotten years. It has only been since April of this year that you have been able to sample and enjoy the whole Dulwich experience. Well, I can promise you now that we are here to make this up to you, and you are in for a treat. I cannot recall such a feeling of excitement, hope, optimism and positivity that has permeated throughout the college over the last few weeks. All of our teachers are here in Singapore, and our induction preparations have been hugely successful. This, along with the exciting news from the Prime Minister on Sunday on so many levels, and with masks no longer required in schools from Monday, promises to move us from pandemic to endemic. Not a return to the way it was before, but an aspiration to be even bigger and better than we were before the pandemic. And this is the challenge that I will continue to set for the entire Dulwich College Singapore family: teachers, support staff, parents and students, as we reconnect, rediscover and reignite. We came to Singapore back in 2012 to create one of the best international schools in the world, and the progress that we have made in that time has been nothing short of phenomenal. Yes, that pace of change in our journey from good to great has been checked somewhat by the pandemic, but we are now back, and back with a vengeance. The journey continues. There is much to celebrate as we begin the new year. Our external examination results were again quite simply outstanding, with an IB diploma average of 38.9 out of a maximum of 45 against a world average of 32. This is particularly impressive when you acknowledge that this represents the achievements of 86 of the 90 students in the class of 2022. 48% of these students scored 40 points or more, with 3 securing a perfect 45 out of 45. 11 students were awarded the prestigious IB Bilingual Diploma. Our global citizens head off to some of the most respected and prestigious universities worldwide from 11 countries, with almost the complete A to Z of degrees represented, from architecture to veterinary nursing. We really do need to encourage our zoologists of the future. This is about finding the best fit for our students to enable them to pursue their hopes, dreams and aspirations, to set them up to find their place in the world. For some, that will be computer science and engineering at UC Berkeley or Cambridge. For others, it will be medicine at NUS or psychology at King's. Some of our engineers are off to the University of Hong Kong, while some will pursue music and enterprise at Leeds, law at LSE, physics at Imperial, music at the Berklee College of Music in Boston, and the arts at New York University. But my favourite is motorsport engineering at the University of Derby. Lewis Hamilton needs all the help that he can get at the moment. 96% of the class of 2022 secured their first choice of university, and for them, this is their best fit for future success and happiness. Our IGCSE results this year were our best ever, with 72% of all grades being A-star or equivalent, and 89% of all grades being A-star A or equivalent. Of the 122 students who completed their IGCSEs, a staggering 51% achieved A-star A or equivalent in all 10 subjects. Although our senior school teachers can rightly enjoy the plaudits for this success, it takes a village to raise a child, and that village is Dulwich. All of our staff, parents and students can take ownership of this success. Many of these students have been with us since they were 8 years old. A whole college focus for this year remains teaching and learning from ducks to junior school to senior school. We will concentrate on the core business of getting it right in the classroom. We are an academic school and we do not apologise for that. We are also not complacent or arrogant when striving to be better. The journey from good to great is about providing a personalised pathway for each and every student. One size does not fit all, and we must ensure that we know our students as individuals, where they have come from on their learning journey, where they are at now, and where we want to take them next to maximise that learning potential. Exams are of course important, but at Dulwich we place equal weight on what goes on outside of the classroom. Sport, which has arguably had the roughest ride due to the pandemic restrictions, is vital to our young people's physical and mental welfare. Pre-COVID, the college had built a reputation for being one of the sporting powerhouses on the international school sports scene across Asia. We will pick up where we left off, espousing a philosophy for all, whilst creating opportunities to compete, to win, to lose, to learn from the experience, to be determined, courageous, skillful, and arguably, most important of all, gracious. We return to our stages with the most exciting programme of live dramatic, dance and musical performances. Our artists and designers, our entrepreneurs, our academics, our world scholars, our journalists, our coders, our techies are back in force with a newly revamped and improved co-curricular programme of absolute quality and opportunity. Not just the experience, but the chance to shine, excel and stand out, to be different. To our parents, this is your school, and the wonderful friends of Dulwich and other parent volunteers have already been busy making everyone feel reconnected. Thanks to them, we will discover what it means to be part of the Dulwich family. We will reignite that interest, involvement and ownership. A plethora of activities have already been planned for you, and I urge you to get involved and make the most of these opportunities. All of this is so important, but as a college, we have a higher purpose. We have in our charge the future, the generations to come, the leaders, the influencers, the change makers, and the people who will decide the future of this planet and humanity itself. We cannot afford to get this wrong. We acknowledge that we are all privileged, and there is nothing to be ashamed of about that, as long as we recognise that with privilege comes responsibility. Responsibility to make the most of the wonderful opportunities that are afforded to our students every day, and the responsibility to pay our good fortune forward to others who are not so lucky as us. In the future, the journey from good to great comes down to developing, nurturing and encouraging our young people to become better global citizens, to be kind, compassionate and caring. We must create a culture where this is the norm, where racism, homophobia, sexism, inequality and selfishness are not acceptable, no matter how ingrained it is in our society. We must embrace this cultural shift through a continuing focus on sustainability, diversity, equity and inclusion, fairness, well-being and intercultural understanding. And not because it's trendy or in vogue, because it's woke, no, because it is the most critical responsibility that we have as intelligent, educated adults, and we owe this to our children. If we don't get this right, you can forget about exam results and university matriculation or sport, music, drama, art and dance. You can forget about happy, well-rounded, confident young people because none of it will count for anything. We need to reconnect, rediscover and reignite. We need to revisit and recycle what went well pre-pandemic, take on board the harsh lessons that we have learned in the last 2.5 years, and we must look ahead to a brave new world, a cultured world, a world with a future. And that is what we are going to do from today. Reconnect, rediscover and reignite. It's going to be a fabulous year to celebrate your children. To be continued.